It's 6 o'clock. I'm going to call this meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, consideration of changes or additions to the agenda. There's one on ongoing business. It is the generator grant we're going to add on the bottom of that. Then the other change is the town office closure December 24th. Instead of at noon, it will be all day. Is there anything else? Okay. Moving on, approvals of November 12th minutes.
Make a motion, we approve November 12th minutes as written.
I'll second it. The ayes?
Aye.
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 Okay, moving on to reports. Highway and Transfer Station, Clinton.
We have Dennis Quantrell as the new employee for the highway department. He's working out really good so far. Other than that, I mean, it's not really much going on except for road maintenance as far as winter. That's been keeping us really busy the last few weeks. But that's about all I have for you.
How's the transfer station?
I guess it's going good. I haven't had a chance to get up there because it seems like every weekend
The other side of the transfer station is we did reach out and get, I don't think we have it on here, quotes for the warming sheds.
Oh, that's down below.
It's down in ongoing business.
Oh, it is right there, so we can talk about that down below.
Yep, number 7.
So is it working out better? We're having the steel dumpster.
they seem to say it's working really good with the way it's set up. So I mean, it's not much harder to plow around there and stuff. So
Yeah, good. Okay.
seems to be working. And the electronics is supposed to be getting old again soon. I hope
I saw that, yeah.
because it's full.
Okay. And I know they were doing some work in the trade department on their little shed that people can go in.
Swap shop.
Yeah, I know. It's my favorite discussion. All right. Any questions for Clinton on transfer station or the highway department? Thank you, Clinton. Treasurer's report, Liz.
So, as of November, we officially moved into, I think this is the big change. Cash doesn't change a whole lot as we go forward in the year, other than we pay a large portion each month for the school or for the state education fund, some months both. But we have moved into delinquent tax collection time. So you'll see a property taxes receivable. It came down to just over 200,000 by the time we finished with receiving everything that was on time. And through the end of November, we have already, Mr. Prino, I should say, not we, have already collected almost 50,000. So there's a good early payment of people who are delinquent, and that's usually, well, if we're lucky, it starts that way, and then it'll trickle in through the rest of the year. So good start on that. There's really not a whole lot else going on the balance sheet. Except you will see an accounts payable amount for $318,000. That $312,000 was due to the state of Vermont for the state education fund, and we don't pay it until December 1st, so it's a payable there, but will be reflected more in December, next month's report. On our report, just a note, we're 41.67% through our fiscal year at the end of November. So what's noted in the footer, just for comparison as you look at some of the other budget numbers compared to variance. Our interest income on CDs continues to come in at a few thousand each month, which is helpful and above budget. We did receive our funds from the state for the pilot program this month, which was slightly above budget, but only by about 4%. Not a huge, just about $700. Not a huge amount. And I did, just a note, make a few changes to this report for the month and collapsed a few of the categories where there's a ton of little accounts in detail and just made it into one line. I think it's more viewable this way, but if you ever have any questions on specific line items, everything is being tracked by line and in detail, just reporting purposes, showing us a little differently. Let's see, also of note, Bobby mentioned we're definitely in winter finally now, and we are utilizing the winter funds for the town garage, so you'll see labor in that category, labor expenses. And there's definitely some overtime, but it's all contained within labor. We're in our first month of our winter budget, so we won't see any no variances there to speak of. We did purchase the snowplow that was approved last month, so that is purchased equipment. But otherwise, really just business as usual, nothing major.
Any questions for Liz?
I don't have any.
None here.
Yes, Steve.
I'm just curious, how many properties are in arrears, and is it equivalent to what's been in previous years?
I didn't look at it on a number of property basis, but on a percentage basis, when we went into delinquency, it was between 2 and 3%. It was similar to the prior year. It goes up and down a little bit over time, but it compared to the prior year.
All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions? Thank you, Liz. Okay, fire department update.
Not here.
Bill is not here. Conservation Commission update. Phil?
It's gonna be Alex, she's stepping in.
Alex?
Hi there.
Hi there, how are you?
Hi, I'm well, and thanks for having me. There isn't too much to report. I suppose one thing that might be worth mentioning is that possibly since the last time we've been on the agenda, a recreation subcommittee has formed, which has been meeting and discussing, it's open to the public, it's advertised in the news flash. And the group has been discussing information about that could be shared around trails for hiking and skiing, as well as how to further support Star Lake. So that's pretty much the only thing. We are planning quite an active agenda for next year, including developing some plans around this recreation work and Star Lake, and then having further public meetings for greater discussion and public input. We do have one request for the select board, which is that we would like to join the Association of Vermont Conservation Commissions. This will allow us to access quite a lot of resource materials and to network more easily with other conservation commissions around the state. The cost is $50 a year, and so we would be grateful for your approval for that sum so that we could move ahead.
I think you guys were members, maybe not this past year, but I know I've processed dues in my time. So in the last 2 to 3 years, I think you have been members in the past. So it might just be have lapsed this year. But in case, I don't think that should affect your decision. I'm just saying, I think it has. I know I have written those out in the orders at least once before.
That's good to know, Caitlin. There was some discussion about it, and I know there had been some intention of joining, and it's possible that, between changes in commission members, it lapsed.
Yeah.
But that explains some of the people saying, yes, but I do get emails, but us not finding ourselves on the list.
Yeah.
So it's $50 a year, and we will try and be more regular about it after this.
Do they have to bring a form into us of some sort?
No, my memory from, I want to say maybe 2023 or 2022 is that once you have printed out your membership kind of dues receipt, then the select board can put it on the orders if you guys approve that. But I don't think there's any kind of formal anything else, no.
I'm okay with that. I don't know about the rest of the board.
I think
Make a motion on that?
I don't think so. You have money in the budget, right, for,
I believe they have money in their budget to do that. So that would be the one thing that we would need to know is you have funding in the budget to do that, and there's funding left.
Yes, there is. That's what I was just looking at. Because they've brought money in from ash tree pieces, and so yes, I don't see an issue with $50.
Yep. No. I think you got the approval from the board to be able to
Thank you.
join.
Thank you very much.
So, is there any other questions for Alexandra? Thank you very much. Okay, moving on to new business, FEMA extension request for DR 4720 Beaver Meadow Road Culvert and Chaburn Lane Bridge wing walls.
So our July 2023 flood event and disaster declaration, the formal time frame for that is, the initial formal time frame, I should say, is almost expired, and we have 2 more projects that have yet to be completed, so we need to formally, the select board needs to approve an extension request, and then we submit those to the state, and I don't think there's anything further to the process.
No, I'll make a motion that we do a formal request for DR 4720 Vermont Beaver Meadow Road Culvert and Chaburn Lane wing bridge walls. Is there a second?
I'll second.
The ayes?
Aye.
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 And after the meeting, I'll just need to grab your signature on those to make it official.
One year should be enough, right?
Yeah, that would.
Yeah, I just gotta get on it so that when we hit spring, or
The
ready for
request is
construction.
for 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
If we needed it, another request could be submitted for extension as well, so it's not a one and done request.
Okay. No, perfect. Okay, moving on to discuss Okemo Valley audio, video budget request.
Yes, good evening. I'm Wendell Perkins. I'm the president of the board for Okemo Valley TV. Patrick Cody is our executive director is out of town, so I'm making this presentation to you this evening. We are asking for a budget request for the next fiscal year, basically a fee-for-service model that will be in addition to the appropriation that we do get from Mount Holly. What we are seeing is that the cost for the meeting coverage that we do for all of the town meetings is about $1,200 a year. Our appropriation is $800. And in addition, we provide Mount Holly lots of other services in terms of AC system and equipment support, coverage of school events, community events, and then we make provision for equipment and staff for larger events. So we're quite active in the support that we provide the community. So why are we asking for this now? The challenge is, unfortunately, for Vermont's PEG stations like ours, is that our revenues come from the cable companies under the state provision. And as you know, people are cutting cable for streaming. Our revenues are declining year over year, and they have been for the last several years. It's putting pressure on our budget and our ability to provide the services that we provide. So we are reaching out to the towns to have discussions about ways that we can cover some more of our costs so that we can continue to provide the service that we provide. That is our request, and again, it would be clearly for the next fiscal year for your town budget. Happy to take any questions, comments.
So your dollar value you're requesting is?
Is $1,000.
Okay.
We're very cognizant of budgets and tight budgets, and so we're seeking whatever budget assistance we can receive to help cover the cost of what we provide.
And to clarify, is that in addition to the agency support that we currently provide?
Yes, it would be in addition to the town appropriation. We decided that a budget request was an easier way to have this conversation as opposed to seeking further appropriation request. So that is why we've chosen to go this direction with this request, assuming that makes sense.
So that would be $1,800 a year.
Correct.
That would, well, $1,750, we're
Right.
adding to the budget makes sense. I don't know if the dollar value is, that'll go into the
The budget meeting, the workshop.
That'll go into the budget workshop. Yeah. So that would be a total cost of $1,750.
And that'd be for fiscal year 26.
Correct.
Yes,
That was
correct.
The most recent,
Okay.
or the budget we're about to look in.
Okay.
Okay, so that's a request to go into our budget workshop, which we'll talk a minute down below. Okay. Is there any questions? Yes, Steve?
The extra 1,000 you're looking for the next fiscal year, not this fiscal year.
Yes, correct. This would be fiscal 26.
Okay. And also, are you going to try to get extra funds from the Twin River or Two Rivers School District?
I'm not sure that there are conversations on that, but we can certainly follow up with that, yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Just so I have it for the minutes, that the current annual appropriation is 800.
It was
That,
$750.
that
I
was
just-
my understanding. That may be
Yeah.
incorrect.
I just
Okay.
wrote the check, otherwise I would have to double check that.
Okay, so it's 750, and then the additional request would be for an additional 1,000.
1,000.
Okay.
in our budget.
To be added to the town budget for AV and
Right.
related, not as an appropriation to Okemo Valley TV. Okay. Okay, got it.
Okay, any other questions? Thank you, Wendell. That'll come up
Okay.
in our
Thank you so much.
budgetary meeting. Okay. Discuss utility easement on Route 103 South, Green Mountain Power.
Hi, my name is Karen Kotecki. I'm here tonight. Thank you for having me. I'm representing Green Mountain Power. I'm a right-of-way and permitting contractor for them. And they are doing a project in Mount Holly. They have been over the past year and a half to 2 years to relocate the existing power line that is in the wetlands out to roadside. And I'm working with various landowners. I've secured almost all the easements except for a couple, including this one. And Green Mountain Power would like to install a utility pole right there on the edge of the right-of-way where the Green Mountain, where the Green Town Cemetery is. And I'm here tonight to request that the Select Board sign an easement to allow that to happen. Again, you can, I sent a copy of the plan. I don't know if you have it in front of you, but they're trying to relocate the pole line out to the roadside of Route 103 South and to get it out of the wetlands.
So is that for just a pole in front?
A pole and then a pole, and it should have been staked. I don't know if anybody's driven by it. It should have been staked. In fact, I think it was staked a couple times because somebody pulled out the stake the first time. And then there'd be an anchor guy that would go into the back of the pole up to 15 feet from the pole.
Into how far up the bank or to the bank?
Well, 15 feet, up to 15 feet, but I could get that exact measurement for you. The pole is going to be about 40 feet high, and then the pole will be 36 feet back from the center line of Route 103. It's very wide through here, you probably know that. And then from the pole back, directly back northerly, it'll be an anchor guy that will be down into the ground.
So they got flagging posts?
There is a stake there, and I'll confirm it. If you want to go out and look at it, I'll confirm with Eric, our design engineer, to make sure that it's there. Because again, these stakes get put in the ground, and then for whatever reason, they get pulled out. So I'll confirm if you want to go out and take a look at it before you sign.
Is there a stake where the anchor cable's going to go in?
There should be a stake, yes, with the pole and the anchor guy.
Okay. Because it kind of looks like it's right in the middle of the hill.
Yeah, more to the, like if you're facing the hill, it's more to the left. So it would be west.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is not a replacement for the greenstand line, right?
No, this is, and this is what they call a stub pole. You'll see that they're putting the pole line along the southerly side of Route 103, and then every so often they need a stub pole just to kind of keep things in check.
Okay, so this is where the line is going.
Okay. I don't know, we have the easement
The
paperwork.
easement is here, yeah. And Karen, what you had sent previously is still, there were no edits, right, from what you had sent me a few weeks ago?
Well, let me ask you this, Caitlin. I sent you one that was preliminary, and then I thought I sent you the right one because it will describe the 36 feet back from the center line. It'll be the second paragraph. If that's not there, I can send, I have it up. I've been working on this project for almost 2 years, so I've had easements drafted from a long time ago.
Yeah, it might be.
talking right in front of
Do you see
To the left, she
in the
said.
second
To the left of
paragraph?
that monument.
Yeah, it should say 36 feet from the center line of Vermont Route 103 South.
Okay, so
On the second-
headed towards Ludlow, you're putting the pole line on the right-hand side of 103.
Here's a photo of it.
That's the monument.
Yeah.
The cemetery side,
Yes, it's on the cemetery side.
so it'd be the left.
So you're putting the pole line on the left of 103.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, yes, the pole line is on the left.
Right there.
Well, I'm from South Burlington, so if you're heading west on 103 South, you've got the pole line on the left, for the most part, because we crisscross, but in this general area, it's on the southerly side of 103 South, and the cemetery's on the other side where the stub pole, we're proposing to put a
So
stub.
that's just more of an anchor pole on the other side.
It's the other side.
It's called the
Oh, the
stub pole.
line. The
Yeah.
line is going on.
Yes, this is.
The line is going on the.
On the right-hand side of the highway.
On the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's on the right-hand headed towards Ludlow.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I had
And
lunch
then
down
that's
there.
just
You're
a pole to
absolutely
keep it
right,
all
yes.
together on the other side of the road.
Because I saw some stakes on my property going down through
What's
there,
your
and I haven't been notified.
What's your last name?
Turco.
Oh, yeah, you and I talked a while ago, yeah.
Yes. And we
Yeah.
did not discuss that easement.
No, you didn't want to sign a new easement. I know, I told them that, I told GMP that. That you said it was okay if you're gonna put it in the same place, but I don't wanna sign any easement, is what you said.
Well, this is a new pole line going down 103. Correct?
Along the train track.
Right,
Yeah, you were talking about your old pole line on Greenstand.
right, I'm working with landowners on Station Road, and is it Greenstand?
Yeah, so you and I need to talk at a different point.
Okay, that's fine,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, I think you have my contact, but I think I have yours, I'll get a hold of you.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, yeah, we'll
Okay.
make it work. We won't do anything that you don't want us to do.
Yeah, because we didn't discuss this, I'll be honest with you.
I just don't want to see it right in front of the cemetery.
Yeah, I don't want to see the, I don't want to see the pole in front of the cemetery either. I don't think it would be
Right.
Especially right in
appropriate.
front of that monument right
Yeah,
there.
because that's where the monument is.
Yep, I'm familiar with it. I actually know some of the
Is there a
descendants,
way,
believe it or not.
is there a way to move it
I'm trying to remember.
one direction or another to keep it out of the front of the monument and cemetery?
Yes, I can ask the design engineer to do that.
Yeah.
My understanding was he did put it to, like I said, if you're facing the monument to the left, or the graveyard to the left. But if it's not, I mean, I can find out for sure if it's staked. I know we've had snow and so forth, but would it help if I confirm it's been staked and you guys take a ride by at your convenience? So that you can see exactly.
We're
where
looking
it's
at we're looking at a photo of it there, and there's an ending of a guardrail. Just
Okay,
Oh, it looks like there's a power pole there, at the end of the guardrail.
No, it's a
Oh, it's
tree.
a tree.
So
Pretty straight.
there's the guardrail ends right there coming off of the bridge. If that pole can go at the end of the guardrail or the beginning of the guardrail, depending on how you want to look at it, headed south or north,
okay,
would be a better position. That way, it's not in the front of the cemetery and the
I
monument.
hear you. Okay, I'm just gonna look real quick on it while we're.
We're on Google Street View.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna look at too. Okay, so to the left. Or the far right.
To
I
the
think
far
the-
right.
the
It'd be the far right facing it, right by the beginning of the guardrail.
Okay, the far right.
Yeah.
Okay, I will talk to Eric, the design engineer, and I'll get back to you. And then, is it Mark? Are you
Yes.
Mark Turco?
Yes.
Okay, I'll also call you,
Okay.
Dennis, did you want
About
any trees down in that
your own
area?
property.
Okay.
Now's the
sorry,
time
what
to
was that?
speak up.
That works for me.
She's mentioned facing the cemetery, they're going to put it to the left. So now you're gonna put it to the right at the end of the guardrail.
Yes.
So that's probably 50 feet further
Yeah,
along.
so it keeps it out of the front of the monument and
Right.
And the
Yeah, I don't
does
think
does that meet your approval?
Yeah, it sounds like it's in the bank, not at the base of the bank. It's up the bank, right?
Yeah.
Well,
that's
yeah,
fine.
because of the geography, right? Because there's a
Yeah.
hill, right? I mean, the hill,
Yeah, 30,
the
it's
hill.
about 36
So,
feet
comes
back.
so
right up
this will
smack
put
to
it, so it's out of the front of the bank for the cemetery that's maintained.
Yeah, they gotta have it. They gotta have it. So.
Yep, okay, that will work.
Okay, I will get back to you with that, and I'll have them change the plan,
Okay,
and I'll have them stake it as well.
okay.
Okay,
So Karen, you'll just send an updated easement draft and map, and then I can
And
share
map.
that with the select board, and we could put it on our agenda for January.
sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you, Karen.
All right. Thank you both, all so much. We appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, set the budget workshop meeting date and time. Have a proposal of January 2nd at 4 p.m. Does that work? You just,
It works for me, I don't know.
Jeff,
Does
it's
it work for you, Jeff?
what works for you?
Check your calendar.
Do the week after, like
School isn't
Monday,
back-
Tuesday.
School isn't back in
I
session.
know, that's where I'm like,
Yeah.
it's my only week to.
Yeah.
With the
No.
kids, okay. No, we could change that.
We can move it around.
We do it like the
What time?
6th, Monday. Same time. Tuesday.
6th or 7th.
We may have to
I'm
do
o-
several days.
I'm okay with that. If you want to do it on the 6th.
It tends
Right,
to be a
yes.
long meeting.
Well, it may take that
Yeah.
much time because Mark be,
We'll figure it out.
yeah, from 4 o'clock, yeah.
Oh,
His
So-
time is short in the evening.
gotcha.
That's okay.
We can do it earlier.
No,
too.
the 6th will work. 6 at 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Timing is flexible.
Yep.
Just the date.
6 at 4. January 6th at 4.
And town office.
Town office.
Okay.
Any questions? Okay, so the budget workshop meeting is 1/6/25 at 4 p.m. So we're going to move on to set the meeting date, set the town meeting date and time. We have a proposal of March 3rd to 25th at 6 p.m.
At the school.
at the school.
6 p.m.
That works for me. Jeff?
Yep.
That's a Monday, right?
That is a Monday.
The 5th, right?
I didn't say the date.
I'm back a month,
We have to
sorry.
make a motion on that one anyways.
I think so, yeah.
So I'm gonna make a motion to set the town meeting date and time.
You can't change the date.
You have to remember that.
I know that. I just,
Yeah,
say
we
it.
gotta,
I'll make a motion to set the date at March 3rd and the time at 6 p.m. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
The ayes? Aye.
Alright,
Aye.
don't forget that.
Yeah.
Okay, discuss PACIF recommendations for annual medical certification.
So this is just a recommendation. PASIF is our insurer for employees and workers' comp and property casualty. And they have recommended to all municipalities that, that they insure that CMV, employees have and carry and provide a periodic documentation to the town of a DOT physical medical cert. It's required by law if you are driving, if you don't work for a municipality, if you work for the state or you're driving between towns. It's not required by the state for municipal employees, but PASIF is recommending that all municipalities that they cover, that each select board make a motion to require that their drivers have their, whether it's biannual, is it biannual? Is that the standard? I forget whether it's biannual or annual.
It says here annual medical.
Yeah. So anyway, Wade Master is the loss control person assigned to Mount Holly. He came in and did an audit of our documentation of CMB employees. When was that? March? April?
Yeah, something
March.
like that.
And we actually were somewhat seriously out of compliance with our documentation, which apparently was very common in his audits of towns. We are now fully in compliance. And we have updated all the files and made sure that they have this extensive checklist they need municipalities who are covered by them to follow. And this is the one thing that we haven't done that's not on our list. So it's up to the select board, but it is something that they are strongly recommending. Yeah. And the reasons, it's probably obvious, but the reasons are, as our insurer, they want to obviously limit our liability. And so having drivers that have had their periodic physical just reduces risk. Obviously, it reduces the liability of the town as well.
It's our workers' compensation.
Yeah.
And our liability.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, on two fronts. And one of our 3 employees already has provided that documentation for this year. So I don't think administratively it's a big leap.
Mm-hmm. Okay, is there a motion?
I make a motion that we follow along the path of recommendation, annual medical certification.
I'll second the motion.
The ayes?
Aye.
At the town expense.
That's already in the personnel policy that the town pays for the physical. So that's already been approved. Yeah.
Is this a physical by a town doctor?
No,
the individual
there's a
side.
list of DOT approved.
It's not that stringent. I mean,
No,
It's not that
it
strict.
depends, I guess, on your health.
It's very common, any of the commercial drivers, UPS,
Yeah.
FedEx, they all have to have that.
Yeah. And there's a long
DOT.
list, and
Yep.
there's lots of them nearby, and they charge
Yep.
a set fee. I think it's $140 or $160,
Yeah, it's-
something like that.
it's-
They can bill directly to the town.
Yes.
And or the employee can pay for it and be reimbursed. But if I can communicate to the employees
Mm-hmm.
that they should ask for it to be billed to the town to make it easier on them.
Yep. So we had a motion, we had a second, and we were going to the ayes.
I heard
Aye.
Aye.
Looks like it's a 24-month physical every 24 months.
It's biannual.
Yeah,
It's
and I think
biannual.
if there's
Every 2
certain
years.
conditions,
If you have.
you may have to go more often, but
Every
yeah.
year.
Okay. Ongoing and old business. Review the warming shed quotes.
I got a quote for an Amish built shed, 8x10, which was $19.95 delivered.
I got a quote as well from up in Rutland at Mike's, and for the same 8x10 shed, it was $36.95.
Wow.
So
Probably important to note they're probably made differently. That's why there's a price difference.
I'm-
Not
I'm-
because one's
I'm
charging more than the other.
I'm sure it's made
Sheds
totally
come-
different because
It is, the shed, the Amish sheds are
Like post and beam style or something.
yeah, they're more of a sawed out lumber, so
they're rough
There's
cut.
no
they're
SB.
2x4.
They're rough cut.
It's pine board siding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be all
And
electrical outlets and stuff like that, or whatever.
No,
No.
it's just the
no,
shed.
no.
So
These
we
are
would-
built
Put some electricity.
The ones I looked at are just built standard 2x4. The outside is the already pre-painted type T111 metal roof.
Get
Not
10
much.
Get 10 years, 12, 15 years out of it.
Yeah, you probably get it out of both of them like that. So I know we need to do something. So at that point, I'll make a motion that we purchase the 1995 shed as a warming shed. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
The ayes? Aye.
Aye.
Mark,
I'll just,
what's the shed gonna sit upon? Crushed stone or?
We'll remove the old shed and
Yeah.
we'll put whatever we have to put, whether we put Sure Pack and put it up on blocks, cinder blocks. That way it's
Right.
up off the ground so it's not directly into moisture.
just
So there's a lot of work that still has to go into it. We have to put some insulation in it and stuff, so.
So just a note, we do have a $4,000 budget in this year. We've spent 510 of it already on some of the changes, just putting in blocks,
Mhm.
but, so that'll leave us an extra 1,500 in the current budget to make for insulation or
Mhm.
other
Okay.
pieces.
So the ayes have it, so you can reach out and
I wouldn't go over it.
have them deliver that shed there and then we can do the appropriate things to
Yeah,
get it set up.
we'll have to get an electrician because it's,
Should be relatively,
I've got that person that I used for the price for the generator that was very
Wiring up.
economical.
yeah. I mean, it's just, it's the
The light bulb and a
the
switch.
breaker box that has to get
Yeah, just
Yeah.
pulled out of there.
yeah, just switch it over. Okay,
I can give you that.
good enough.
I can give you the number.
Right.
Okay, going on to the added one, for 7B, the generator grant.
Yep, I reached back out to the grant funding agency, which is Vermont Emergency Management, and asked for additional funds to cover the cord that goes from the building to the generator, plus the disconnect switch on the building, plus the receptacle on the building. And we weren't able to get that additional $3,200. So knowing that, I just to a motion to add to purchase that kind of with our own funds. It wouldn't be part of the grant. So the math was like 32. We can just say like $3,300, not to exceed.
That's the hookup for the generator.
Yep.
So,
And there'll still be the electrician's cost, which is depending on the electrical inspector's review. The cost could be $1,200 to $1,800, but I could only get one response from an electrician, and she did spend time looking at it. So that was Rebecca Bates from Wire Nuts Electric. So revised the motion to include hiring Rebecca Bates for a not to exceed of $1,800 and purchase the additional equipment for $3,300.
I'll second that.
the ayes?
Aye.
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 Jeff, how would you summarize the additional equipment, just like additional electrical components or?
So
Yeah, the
electrical
components, building side components.
Okay.
Hookup components, right?
Okay.
Yep.
In retrospect, next time I apply for a grant, just put more into it.
Yeah.
Because it's
Yep.
like you have to ask for it up front. So
But, you know.
I was pulling it together in the 11th hour.
In
so-
an emergency, it's nice to be able to have a generator to be able to support the needs of the town.
And the grant was for 25, so we're getting a generator for less than 5.
Yep. Any questions, concerns, comments? Okay, we're gonna move on to citizen concerns, citizen comments. Yes.
Catherine. I just want to say thank you to Bob Knight from the road department who helped me when I was stuck on the road last week. And I also like to just say thank you to all of them that I called once last year and once this year as far as a tree hanging over the road, and it was immediate response either that day or the next day. So just want to say thank you for the good job.
Very nice. Thank you to the town crew.
Tires are good.
Any other citizens' concerns, comment? You have one, Dennis?
No.
No, she didn't have
You
one.
said something.
She
She
said
said on her
something.
tires.
She said something.
I do now.
I think the only comment I have is just
Oh,
it's
tires?
been a nasty few weeks weather-wise, and
Yes.
just take it slow. Residents can take it slow on the road. Coming around a corner, you don't know who's going to be meeting you on the other side, and you got to be prepared to stop. Could
Yes.
be a 40,000-pound plow truck, and you're not going to win against that.
Yes, and again, I'll use last night for myself as an example, coming home, at 6 o'clock at night from Rutland, and it's whether it's Mount Holly or any other town, I've had an individual that I believe is from Mount Holly pass me a trailer truck in another car in a short passing zone, snow-covered roads, cars coming. Please, I don't care if we're native to Vermont, not native to Vermont, live in Mount Holly or not live in Mount Holly. Drive safely, drive carefully, as you put your life and others in danger every time we make decisions that are not necessarily correct. So, please, and I can't slap anybody's wrist, but I can ask, how would you feel if you were driving foolishly, hit somebody, and somebody within the other vehicle or your vehicle would lose a life? It would not be a good feeling for anybody. So please drive safely in these times of years and in the summertime. Yes, Steve?
Last night, there was a multi-car pileup on 103 by the welding shop.
So, yes, last night the snow was not a nice snow to drive in. So, that's my care of the day. So, any other comments or concerns from the citizens? Okay, thank you. We're going to move down to the announcements. Town office closures, December 24th through the 26th. New Year's Day. Dog licensing renewal begins January 1. So, make sure you reach out and renew your licenses for your dogs. So,
And the town was kind enough not to raise our fees, even though the state raised their fees.
yes.
So it would be nice if you would make a point to get your dogs registered.
Any questions on the announcements? Okay, review and sign the orders. I'm gonna make a motion to go into executive session, Title I, VSA S313A3, Personnel. Is there a second?
I'll second.
The ayes?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.